A massive cloud is rising over Russia after Ukraine reportedly launched a bold strike using its Flamingo and Neptune missiles, triggering shockwaves across the region. What exactly happened? Why does it matter? And how could this change the course of the conflict? Stay with us as we break down every detail in today's explosive report. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one that has captured global attention and raised countless questions overnight. A dramatic incident unfolded when a large cloud was seen rising over Russian territory shortly after reports surfaced claiming Ukraine had launched its Flamingo and Neptune missile systems. These weapons have long been part of Ukraine's growing strategic arsenal, but seeing them used in such a coordinated manner is something the world has rarely witnessed. In this section, we'll set the stage for what is being called one of the most significant cross-border strikes in months. From satellite images to witness accounts, early information suggests that the explosion was neither accidental nor small. As we move forward, we will break down what led to this moment, what happened immediately after impact, and why analysts believe this event could mark a turning point in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. To understand the importance of this strike, we must look at the capabilities of the Flamingo and Neptune missiles. The Flamingo system is known for its rapid launch capability and relatively stealthy profile, making it ideal for surprise attacks on distant or fortified targets. Meanwhile, the Neptune missile gained international recognition after being credited with the sinking of the Russian warship Moskva in 2022. When these two systems are used together, they create a multi-layered offensive strategy capable of overwhelming even advanced air defense networks. Early reports suggest the missiles were fired in a coordinated sequence designed to confuse Russian radar, allowing at least one projectile to reach its intended target. The cloud that appeared afterward indicates a high-impact detonation, potentially involving fuel, ammunition storage, or industrial facilities. As more details emerge, experts are analyzing the strike pattern to determine whether this was a tactical demonstration or part of a larger strategic operation. Eyewitnesses in nearby Russian regions reported hearing a loud explosion, followed by tremors that rattled windows and set off car alarms. Videos circulating on social platforms show a thick, towering cloud rising into the sky, suggesting a powerful blast consistent with either a military depot or a high-value industrial target. Civilians described seeing a bright flash before the cloud appeared, leading many to believe it was no ordinary fire or accidental incident. Emergency services rushed to the scene, but access to the area was quickly restricted, fueling speculation about what may have truly been hit. Russian authorities initially released vague statements, offering little clarity and calling it a local incident under investigation. However, the timing aligned almost perfectly with tracking reports of missile launches from Ukrainian territory. This alignment has led analysts and observers to believe the explosion was the direct result of a successful Ukrainian precision strike. Military analysts are now reviewing satellite images to piece together the possible target of the strike. Preliminary assessments suggest that the explosion occurred near a logistical or supply-related facility, possibly one used for storing fuel or ammunition. The size and shape of the cloud point to a high-temperature detonation, something typically associated with military stockpiles rather than civilian infrastructure. If confirmed, this would mark a calculated effort by Ukraine to disrupt Russia's supply lines and weaken its frontline operations. Experts also note that Ukraine has been increasingly bold in its long-range engagements, expanding the reach and sophistication of its missile programs. The Flamingo and Neptune combination could signal a new phase of Ukraine's strategic thinking, one focused on targeted disruption rather than broad battlefield confrontation. As investigators continue to analyze the site, The global community watches closely to see how Russia will interpret and respond to this latest development. The political implications of this incident are significant. Over the past year, international support has bolstered Ukraine's defensive and offensive capabilities, enabling it to strike deeper into Russian territory with greater accuracy. This latest event could escalate tensions not only between the two countries, but also among their global allies. Russia has repeatedly warned that cross-border attacks would be met with consequences, yet Ukraine appears determined to take calculated risks to assert its deterrence posture. Diplomats are now scrambling to interpret what this strike means for ongoing peace proposals and whether it will harden Russia's stance or push it toward negotiation. Meanwhile, Ukraine's leadership maintains that any military action targeting Russian assets is a direct response to continuous aggression. How the international community frames this event could shape the next steps in diplomatic channels, potentially influencing sanctions, military aid packages, and broader geopolitical alignments. On the ground, Ukrainian military officials have not issued an immediate claim of responsibility, a common tactic used to maintain ambiguity during ongoing operations. However, several analysts point out that the strike's signature, particularly the combination of Flamingo and Neptune missiles, is uniquely Ukrainian. The choice of these systems also suggests careful planning with an emphasis on maximizing impact while minimizing resource expenditure. Russian officials, on the other hand, have expressed frustration over what they describe as increasing foreign involvement in Ukrainian strikes. They allege that Western intelligence and technology may have played a role in enabling the launch. Although these accusations remain unverified, they contribute to the growing narrative of a proxy conflict involving major global powers. As information continues to unfold, both sides maintain their public messaging strategies, attempting to control the narrative and shape international perception of the incident. Public reaction within Russia has been mixed. Some citizens express shock and concern over the lack of transparent communication from authorities, while others downplayed the incident, asserting that Russia's defenses remain strong and capable. Social media platforms became a battleground of speculation, with users sharing unverified images, theories, and emotional responses. Videos showing the massive cloud-fueled debates about whether the strike hit a critical site or a less significant facility. The censorship apparatus also appeared active, as several posts were removed shortly after gaining traction. In Ukraine, the mood was different. Many viewed the incident as symbolic of resilience and strategic capability. Supporters interpreted the strike as evidence that Ukraine can respond forcefully when provoked. The psychological effect of such incidents plays a major role in modern warfare, influencing not only public morale, but also the political pressure leaders face domestically. In the military community, this incident has sparked renewed debate about the future of long-range precision warfare. The Flamingo and Neptune systems have demonstrated how mid-range nations can develop effective deterrence tools capable of challenging larger adversaries. If Ukraine continues to refine these capabilities, it could shift the balance of power in the region by forcing Russia to allocate more resources to defense and internal protection. Some experts argue that this strike may motivate other nations to invest more heavily in missile technology, while others warn that it could accelerate an arms race with unpredictable consequences. What is clear, however, is that precision strikes are becoming central to modern conflict strategies. The ability to hit high-value targets from long distances without deploying troops significantly changes how wars are fought and how nations calculate risk. Looking at the broader picture, the cloud rising over Russia is more than just a physical outcome of an explosion. It symbolizes rising tensions, heightened uncertainty, and a shifting strategic landscape. This event highlights the ongoing evolution of the conflict, where both sides rely increasingly on technology, intelligence, and precision over sheer force. It also raises questions about how far each country is willing to go and how the international community plans to manage potential escalation. As new information becomes available, analysts will likely focus on evaluating the target's importance, the strike's effectiveness, and the consequences for future military operations. Whether this incident becomes a major turning point or just another chapter in a long conflict will depend on forthcoming responses from both capitals. For now, it stands as a vivid reminder of how volatile the situation remains. As we conclude today's deep dive, it's clear that the reported Flamingo and Neptune missile strike has left a significant mark on both the physical and strategic landscape. The massive cloud rising over Russian territory is only the visible part of a much larger story involving technology, politics, military strategy, and public perception. In the coming days, new evidence may challenge or confirm current assumptions, but one thing is certain: this incident will be studied closely by military analysts, policymakers, and global observers alike. Whether it leads to escalation, deterrence, or renewed dialogue remains to be seen. Thank you for staying with us through this comprehensive breakdown. Now, let's look ahead to what might unfold next as the world continues to monitor the growing tension and rapid developments in the region. If you found this coverage helpful, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think this strike means for the future of the conflict? Your voice matters, so join the discussion